Hi friends, hi loved ones, this is Beauty Manifested and I am Danny the Tiege. To all my family and friends who watch me, hey guys, I love you. I haven't made a video in way too long, but I came back to the US and I've just been trying to like get things in order. My room is like, it's not messy right now, but it's a little bit going on. But like, it was a disaster. It took me a long time to unpack and I just had so much going on, but I feel really inspired to speak and I hope that one of my girlfriends will see this. We just connected because like I'm feeling so inspired by connecting with a fellow woman and I just feel really good. So a little bit about me. My name is Danny. And I've been single for 2 years now and it feels really good for me. And I've been like very single, like super single. I mean, I have been casually dating, but like when I tell you, I haven't been invested in anyone emotionally at all for 2 years. I have glitter all over my face. Cute. But so yeah, I haven't been invested in anyone at all for the last 2 years. And that is definitely unique for me because like literally since before I can remember, like I've been a lover girl. Like I'm just a lover girl. This is just what I do. Yeah, okay. And I've always had like an object of affection. Even if I wasn't like in like a committed relationship. I've only been really in one committed relationship. But even if I wasn't in like a committed relationship, I had like an object of desire who took up a lot of like space in my mind, and that's basically my MO. But for the past 2 years, I've just been like really working on myself, and for the past couple months, I've been really, I remember I had a friend and I've been calling in sacred sisterhood for a while. And I remember like I just wanted friends who like inspired me and motivated me and were doing well in their life, who I could travel with, who I could, you know, one day raise my kids with, like all these things. Like someone who could be a godmother for my children. And of course I already have sisters, so it's not that urgent. My kids will have a godmother. But that's what I have been wanting. And then for the past year, I have been really wanting that and just like calling it in more intentionally. And when I say like, I just feel so grateful for every woman around me, whether it's like my best friend, my mother, my grandmother, or even just a woman who like I encounter at the grocery store or someone who I just know a little bit. So a little bit of backstory. I'm not going to give all my business, but I was in a relationship for a few years and it was really chaotic. And basically from that relationship, I got into this situation where I was like competing with another woman. Not like actively, well, kind of actively competing with her. Like, you know, like we were competing for a man's attention and time. And it was a hot mess. Like when I tell you, it was literally a hot mess. And even while it was going on, I felt that it was so out of character for me because I've always been a girl's girl. Like I have sisters, I have aunts. Like I've never been one to compete with women. But for some reason, I had to have this experience in my life. And it really brought out like my shadow side, like which is like my dominant, controlling, competitive side. And I got to know that part of myself pretty intimately because I went through that for like a couple years and it was pretty crazy. And so me and that girl, we were like enemies. We were enemies. We had beef, which is so crazy. Like I've literally never had beef with anyone. It was very disturbing for me actually because I felt like this girl hated me. And I've never, like I'm a very likable person and I'm someone who really cares what other people think. So it hurt me deeply that someone would hate me like that. But at the same time, I think I felt the same way. Like if I would even see her name somewhere, like even somebody else with the same name, like I'd be triggered. Right. So whatever, like I got out of that relationship, that toxic dynamic. It was a lot. And even in that relationship, like a couple times near the end, I got to connect with the woman. And I just got to see her as like a human being and not through the lens of like what the man who was in the middle of it all was painting her to be. And I was like, wow, she's actually kind of cool. But I still had a lot of emotions wrapped up in it. So, you know, it was that. But now a couple years have passed. And guess what? I connected with her again. Like, she was the bigger woman, and she actually called me a while ago, maybe earlier this year, and she reached out to me, and she just apologized for everything that had happened, and she just, like, you know, kind of like rebuilt that burnt bridge, and that was really nice. And then the other day I was thinking about her, and so I reached out because she had already kind of, like, you know, like put out a, like, something of goodwill. She had already kind of let me know, like, she doesn't hate me anymore. So I reached out, and now I've been talking to her, and I just realized, like, why would I ever be competing with another woman? Like, why would I ever want to even do anything that puts another woman, like, in a state of stress, distress, especially a Black woman? Like, I am not proud of the way that I acted at that time in my life, but I'm grateful that I went through that, because now I'm, like, very aware of this, like, competitive instinct that women have. And I think really it is like a survival instinct. I think at that time I was so invested in that relationship, and I was so insecure, and it was just so much going on that, like, literally it felt like whatever I was doing, I had to do it. Like, it felt like do or die, and it wasn't, but that's how it felt. And now that I've gone through that situation, I'm actually really grateful. One, because I got to connect with this woman, and I feel like we have, like, a special bond because we both acted so cruel and disgusting towards each other. And so she knows a side of me that most people will never know, because that is not me. It's really not. But at the same time, it is. It is. Like, that experience showed me that I do have that in me to, like, do whatever it takes to get what I want and whatnot. So she knows that side of me, and I also saw the very dark side of her. And so, like, I feel like that gives us a special bond, and I'm just, like, I'm feeling so grateful about it. She's such a intelligent woman. Even the fact that we both were interested in the same man is a bond. And actually, this might be a pattern for me, because there's another guy who I liked, and then I had the opportunity to meet someone who he used to kind of, like, have, like, a thing for. So, like, me and the girl, clearly we both have the same taste in men, because we both like this man at one point. By the time I met her, like, they weren't involved or anything like that, but, you know, we have the similar taste in men. And now I love that woman to death. Like, it's never, and I feel like the reason I was even able, so when I met the girl, I knew that they had used to have a thing, like the guy who I was seeing, and then the girl, I knew that they used to have a thing, and I didn't care. I didn't care at all, because I was like, I'm a girl's girl. At the end of the day, like, I don't even know if this relationship is gonna work out, but I'm not gonna block, like, I could potentially make a friend for life, so I don't want to have any type of beef or anything. So I went out of my way to make sure that, like, this girl knew, like, it's no beef, like, listen. And she actually, like, was caught off guard by that. She was, like, feeling like, you know, I was, like, plotting, or I was just trying to, like, get close to her so I could, like, find out about him and all this stuff. And, like, that was just not the case. But, you know, maybe a past version of myself would have done something like that. I don't think so, but maybe. But because I had already gone through the situation with this other woman who I'm speaking of, who literally taught me so much. She's such an amazing woman. Like, I can't even believe it. And she's younger than me, just a year. But, like, she's so wise beyond her years. And so since I had already gone through that with her, and I was familiar with my shadows and my potential for, like, sabotaging another woman, although I didn't sabotage other women, because neither one of us was meant to be with that man. Like, we both dodged a bullet. But, you know, since I was familiar with my shadow side and, like, my potential to be that way and compete with another woman, I was, like, super aware of that, and I made sure that I didn't replay that pattern with this other girl who I met. And now I don't talk to the guy anymore, as I suspected. Like, a man is just a man. Like, I fall in love every day. I meet a new man every day. Like, it's no big deal, you know? It's not like it's my husband. That would be one thing, but it's just like a man. And I don't even talk to the man anymore, but I'm still really good friends with the friend. She's given me opportunities. She's been such a good friend to me. She got me the sweetest birthday gift. Like, I'm so grateful that I met her and to have her in my life. So I don't know what the point of this message is, but I just felt inspired to speak about it. Like, if you're a woman and you're getting this video, I feel that you're here for a reason, and let the message be that sacred sisterhood is your most powerful weapon. You should never be competing with another woman. The nature of a woman is to be loved. Now, if she's in a situation where she's feeling very fight or flighty, yes, a woman can be evil. Anybody can be evil. But if you can see that she's feeling insecure and then soothe that and then lead with love and build a friendship, like, you will benefit so much. Because even with the girl now who's such a good friend to me, she was feeling insecure before because she didn't trust me. She didn't know what my intentions were. But I knew, because I had been in her place before, I knew the feelings that she was gonna experience. And so I made it a point to kind of like soothe those worries and let her know, like, she didn't have to worry about that with me. Like, I'm not the kind of person who wants to compete over a guy. I made that very clear. And life goes on. So I was just really, really grateful for that experience. I feel like that was like a very full circle thing for me. And now, like, you're never gonna catch me competing over a man. Because first of all, what the man is telling you is a lie. I know that's a broad blanket statement. If a man heard me say that, he'd be like, you can't say that because I know one person one time who did this. Like, okay, yeah, but in general, like, it's not that he's lying. And I say this all the time. It's just that people have a very limited perspective. So even me telling this story, I can only tell my side of the story. She would tell the story differently. He would tell the story differently. This is my side of the story. This is what I feel and what I experienced and what I learned. And so the man, it's not that he would lie, but he would just be telling his limited man perspective. And like, when he's like, you know, like, a man will be like, oh, she's crazy, she's stalking me, she's doing this, she's doing that, whole time they're sleeping together. Like, how is someone who you're sleeping with 3 nights a week stalking you? Like, let me know, please let me know. Is she drugging you? Are there drugs involved? Like, what's going on? And weed doesn't count. So just love on other women. Like, I feel like I've just had, and women are just amazing, and men are so amazing too. Like, so right now in my life, I sold my business. I've talked about that a little bit. And so now I'm kind of in my job search. And when I tell you the men in my life, not even like my boyfriends or anything, like just men who care about me as a friend and as a human being, have been so helpful to me. Like, so helpful to me. I'm talking about interview prep. I'm talking about resume templates. I'm talking about everything. Like, just, you know what? It's not even about men or women. It's not even about men or women. It's about valuing relationships and community above all. Your husband is going to be your husband. It's going to make sense. It's going to fall into place. But don't be out here burning bridges. Don't be being rude to people. Don't be competing with people. Lead with love always. Value people always. Appreciate people always. And people will show up for you. People will do good for you because that's what you're putting out. And it's just a much better way to live than always being like having to watch your back and feeling like people are plotting on your downfall or whatever, or feeling like living in scarcity, like there's this one man and I have to beat the other girls to get him. Like, if it's your man, it's your man, and nobody can tell him otherwise. Like, it's no competition if it's your man. If he has to decide between you and her, tell him to go with her, because no. And actually, don't tell him to go with her, but then text her on the side and let her know, like, listen, this man's trying to play the field. He's trying to be with both of us. He's trying to do this and that. And you deserve someone who's certain about you. So neither one of us should bother this man. We should both leave him alone. We should both leave him alone, because it should never be a competition thing. And that just feeds a man's ego so much. Like, throw the whole man away. Lead with love. Expect love. Be grateful when people are good for you, and don't make every relationship transactional where it's like, I'm only doing this because I want him to marry me. I'm only doing this so I can get the ring. I'm only doing this because for any reason. Like, just be a loving person. And I feel like this has taken me so far in my life. This is kind of a rant, kind of a ramble, but I haven't spoken on here in a while. If you made it this far in the video, I love you so much. I feel so grateful. Comment, like, give me a thumbs up, or subscribe, something. I love you. I hope you have a beautiful day. Stay blessed. Peace.